Alrighty. Ew. All right, so today we're going to be going over an 820-00164. I think that's a 2015-16 11-inch MacBook Air board. Now, there's a couple of things to note. The first is that for all of you who've been asking me to put the nitrile gloves that I use in the description, they're now in the description. So at the end of the equipment list, you'll see the gloves that I use. You can buy them in multiple sizes. They're nothing special. They're just cheap gloves, but they do a good job. They don't leave that powdery crap on your hands like latex does, which is what I like about them. And I also put Amazon affiliate links for a number of other countries. So I think there's Italy, France, Spain, UK, Canada. I think Austria is in there, and the United States. So if you want to buy something on Amazon and support us while you're doing it, you can now do that even if you're outside the United States. So all the videos now have a list and number of different countries. You click the link. And if you want to buy something expensive, that's great. But if you want to just buy cat food or some toothpicks, I'll settle for what I can get. All right, so let's take this thing apart. Were you in Times Square? No, Times Square sucks. No. Times Square is just, it's the most miserable part of New York. It's like you have to walk around like this, like trying to get around people. Like it sucks. I like to walk places where I can just walk like a human being without having to like suck my stomach in and like move myself around to get around all these other people. That stuff is a pain in the ass. And the tourists. And the worst are the people that just turn around. Like they're walking at a normal speed and they just stop and turn around. I make it a point to just bump into them as hard as possible. Just pretend that they're not there and just like walk right through them. It is so, just the thinking about walking through Times Square makes my head hurt. No. I'm pretty sure Genie.us automatically redirects international affiliate links for Amazon. They do, but they take 15 to something %, so fuck that. No, thank you. No. I'll keep that 15%, thank you very much. The only person that's allowed to make a percentage for doing nothing is me. Me. Terrible Fire has his work ahead of him. Can I buy something and support you from Ireland? I think you can. I believe you can using UK Amazon, yes. You can buy a TV, or you can buy a toothpick. One way or the other. I'll even be happy if you buy a set of toothpicks. All right. Come on. Come out of the machine, you sticky, sticky mess. They heard you like cattle in Times Square and you gotta wear diapers or piss in the... Yeah. Times Square just sucks. And there's all those rip-off electronics stores in Times Square. The whole idea is they know that by the time that you know that you got ripped off, you'll be back in your home country and there's nothing you can do about it. So a camera that's, $300 on Amazon is like $2,100 in the store. And I understand why they do it, because the only way to actually make money in any of those places and pay your $50,000 a month rent for your store that's like this big is to rip everybody off. So they pass it on to the customer by ripping all of them off. I like Times Square for the Broadway shows. Broadway shows are the only good thing about Times Square. The rest of it is just a dump. Hi, Lewis. How come you are working on 1st of January? Greetings from another continent. Because this is the day of the year that everything becomes more expensive. This is the day of the year that my rent goes up. This is the day of the year that my gym sends me a letter about how my dues went up because they're investing in their gym, and my payroll company is going to send me something saying that my rates are going up because they're investing in infrastructure. So this is the most important day of the year to be working, because this is the day of the year that everything is going to become more expensive. Did you like Hamilton? I never saw Hamilton. I probably won't plan to. I like Paramore. Loved Wicked. What a good show. Particularly with Rachel Tucker. I'm sad that Rachel Tucker's gone from Wicked now. That makes me sad. I went to New York and I noticed that all the locals don't go to Times Square. Yep. Yep. Check your current Microscope Amazon link. It doesn't work. Seriously? Technical difficulties. Let's see if that works. Or if I'm getting trolled. Let's see. Microscope. Do you work? I gotta click these things regularly to change them. Does it work? It works just fine. You successfully trolled me. Congratulations. No, seriously, look, my link works just fine. You successfully trolled me. I hope you're happy. All right, let's see what happens when I plug this in. I get no light on the charger, and I get no fan spin. So let's try to get a light on the charger and fan spin. Now, the first thing that I need to get a light on the charger is PP3V42. PP3V42 is what's going to allow the one-wire circuit to work. And I need the one-wire circuit to work because the one-wire circuit is what allows the SMC, System Management Controller, to talk to the charger. And that has to happen to get a green light. So what do we get on PP3V42? We get 0 volts. Okay, that's not good. That's not what we're looking for. Wonder what we get on PP-Bus G3 Hot. Huh, we get 0 volts. This is interesting. Is my charger plugged in? What do we get on the DC in fuse and the DC in board? 16 volts. Okay, so charger is plugged in. All right, let's work this out. Let's work this out. So where are we going to look for? Did Microscope.com reach out to you and apologize for being an ass? They actually did. Supposedly they're under new ownership. They actually did. They wrote me a really nice letter. It's just, I feel bad about it because, you know, what are you going to do after the fact? I mean, everything that happened. It was a pain in the ass to get a refund. They told me that their microscopes could do things and their microscopes couldn't do certain things. And, you know, what are you going to do? Like, I filed the charge back. I got my money back. I forgot they existed. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they reached out to me. That's very nice of them. It's just, you know, it's a year later. Not much I can do. Microscope camera link is what's broken. Yep, it sure is. It sure is. Until somebody actually starts selling this camera, I really don't know what to do with it. Let's see. I have 2 microscope camera links. So there's the currently produced. So yeah, you're right. That one doesn't work. And there's the discontinued one. And the discontinued one is currently unavailable. Yep. Yep. Ask Optics Cam to start making this again. I'm not sure what to say. No idea. I got to find another camera. What are your thoughts on New Year's resolutions? If you have to wait to New Year's, then there's something wrong. You shouldn't have to wait till New Year's to change your life or to change who you are. All right, so let's open up a board schematic, 820000164, and look at the input to the PP3V42 circuit. 820000164. We can open up the schematic, and let's find out where PP3V42 is coming from. What do you think of Martin Shkreli's finance lessons? I haven't watched any of them. I've only really paid attention to his Twitter trolling, to be honest. And his Twitter trolling is pretty high quality. It's pretty entertaining stuff. I'm not going to say that I think he's the best guy on earth, but I will say that the media has kind of misrepresented him, clearly misrepresented him as like the devil of all devils when... I mean, I'm not going to say he's an angel because I really haven't researched it enough. It's just they do that thing where they take things out of context and they do research on only 1/4 of the subject so that it paints the person in the worst possible light using their narrative. And I feel like they've done that a lot with Martin. Like, they never try to get his side of the story on anything. It's a purely one-sided bullshit narrative. Yeah, not saying he's an angel. I'm just saying that the media has painted him as like the devil when he may just be, you know, an asshole. But, I mean, he is an excellent troll. He is a very high-quality troll. He is a really good Twitter troll. It's entertaining. I mean, I can't read his stuff for very long, but give me like 5 or 10 minutes, you know, once a week of reading his stuff, and it puts a smile on my face. All right, so where the hell is PP3V42 creation? Come on. Come on. They don't put it where they used to. Come on. Where is PP3V42 creation? Here we go. All right, 3.42 volt power supply. They put it in a different place in the newest schematics. It drives me nuts. All right, so we have 0 volts on output. So now what I'm kind of interested in is, do we have voltage on input? So this chip is going to create PP3V42. Its input is going to be either PP bus G3 hot, which is the battery, or the charger. So let's check around D7005 and see if I have input on pin 2. Ew. Puke. This is gross. Yuck. Your thoughts on Mariah Carey? Daydream Interlude was a good song. I like Daydream Interlude. I know I'm going to get made fun of for that, but that was a good... I like that song. Okay. So I have 16 volts here. Now let's see what comes afterward. So 16 volts on there means I am getting 16 volts to the regulator. However, I'm not getting output. Let's continue to check here. Let's see what I get. On the capacitor, I get 16. So I can reasonably assume that 16 volts is getting to this. So now I'm kind of curious, do I have a short to ground on output? Because I am getting power to the input. All right, so let's check to see if I have a short to ground on output. Do you come across broken Chromebooks? No, but a big reason of that is that I repel them. I repel them. I mean, it's a $150 computer. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with a $150 computer? There's like nothing. I mean, no, I don't want to ever see it just because, you know, like how do you? There's no money to be made touching that. So, I'm not sure how well they're built, but I have never seen one. All right, so now I'm gonna jump to the idea that the regulator is the issue. So let's go over why that is. Let's go over why that is. Michael and Beck Tech Tip says I gave him the light behind him. Hey, yes, Michael is the kid that came around June or July. Actually got me this thing, and you can't see it because I'm covering it with the microscope. Very cool. You should check out his channel. He's in the chat here as Michael and Beck Tech Tips. He was the kid that brought the messed up board. This thing's kind of cool. I forgot to turn it on. I turn it off at the end of every day so I don't kill the battery. Here, we'll have that on over there. Bam. And continues. Let's see if I can read chat and remember where I am in the schematic at the same time. Okay. How do you prevent burning pads on the board when removing components with just a soldering iron? Common sense. Common sense. Don't stay too long. Don't use a temperature that's too high. Here, it's almost impossible to use a temperature that's too high because the boards are really good at absorbing heat. iPhones are very different. The pads come off very easily. You really just have to learn the board that you're working on and get used to it because every board is going to have different thermal properties. Have you ever been to Orange County? No. Louis, are you a communist? No, but a lot of the people in my state and city are communists, and if you talk to them, you'll learn. Particularly the ones that work in colleges. What would you be doing if you didn't get into motherboard repair? Repairing studio gear. I don't know. Maybe probably be a therapist. That's what I was going to do in my life. I originally planned to be a therapist. Okay. Would you recommend an SE400 as a good entry-level microscope or the SM series? I would only buy the SE series if you're completely broke. Otherwise, I would get the higher end. I started out with an SE400. In the beginning, I got an SE400. But again, I would only recommend that if you're just flat out totally broke. All right, so let's go over this before we get started with the soldering. So we don't have a short to ground on output, so nothing is pulling the power down. We have 16 volts on input, yet we're getting 0 on output. So this means one of two things. Either U7090 is bad, or it's not being told to turn on. Now, usually these chips have an enable pin. This chip over here doesn't have an enable pin, it has a shutdown pin. Same shit. If there is no voltage at the shutdown pin, the chip shuts down. See where it says PP3V42 _ SHDN, shut down? Most of this job most of this job, honestly, is buying vowels. So you have to guess what this shit means. If you don't, you just have to Google the name of the chip and find it. So PP3V42 _ G3 hot _ shutdown _ L means shut the chip down when the voltage is low. Now over here you have 16 volts on input, See, this is the charger. So you have charger, 18 volts, follow the 18 volts, follow the 18 volts, follow the 18 volts, and you get it over here. It goes to VN on the chip, but it also goes to R7080, which is going to lead that 18 volts to the shutdown pin. So let's check R7080, because R7080 may just be corroded, and that could be what's causing our problem. What's your most expensive hardware fuck-up? I don't know. I have no idea. I try not to remember those things. Let's see. What is your most traumatic moment? Please recall every single detail of it. No, fuck that. R7080. Okay, so R7080 is this thing. So let's see how that looks. R7080 looks like... yeah, R7080 looks like shit, cock, and balls. What turns 18 volts into 16? It just depends on the charger. Some chargers put out a little more or less than others. All right, so let's plug this in. I don't even know why the hell it says 18 volts in there, because I always get 16 point something. YouTube didn't even show you were streaming until just now. Fucking YouTube. They just want the cool people to be. They want the cool people to get the results. Yeah, I have 16 volts on that. So there's voltage at the shutdown pin. So let's go over this. There's no short to ground. There's no short to ground on output. There is voltage on input. There's 16 volts on input. And the shutdown pin has the voltage it needs to enable the chip to turn on. So the chip is being told to turn on. It has 16 volts on input, but it's not putting out output, and there's no short to ground, which means the chip itself is probably fucked, which means it's time to go ahead and replace it. And that's what we're going to do with a beautiful chip from a donor board. All right, the first thing I have to do is get the orientation of the chip right, which means reading this stuff on the top. What is the orientation of you? Or we can just guess. I'm sure. 50-50 chance, right? Something that Sonny would say. 50-50 chance. What are the... I like those odds. All right, we're going to remove this. Let's get to work. Where can you find tablet schematics? Probably nowhere. You know how hard it is to even find these schematics in the beginning? A big part of why I don't fix other stuff is because I just can't find schematics to it, and if I can, it's just not worth it. I mean, most of the time, it's not worth the effort anyway, but without schematics, it's really not worth the effort. It's like extra not worth the effort. Why do Apple boards look like complete ass? Well, it's not really Apple, it's the user. I mean, that's one area where I'll give Apple credit. They make nice-looking boards that get fucked and ruined by the end user. So this is the end user's carelessness you're seeing, not so much the quality of the Apple board. All right, so it says LDPR and then 421 whatever. So, and that's the orientation is this way. So the text is on the top and the number is on or the right, and the bottom or the left is the numbers. All right. Could you repair anything without a schematic? No. Yes and no. I mean, there's a lot of stuff where you can kind of guess what's going on, but it's really a question of whether or not it's worth guessing. Like, if it's something where I'm going to be fixing, 5,000 of these a month, then I may go about actually tracing everything and trying to figure it out. But if it's some one-off shit where it's like, I'm going to make $50, I'm never going to see this device again, then it's a total fucking waste of time. But stuff like this, you could do a little bit of work without a schematic, but eventually you're going to hit a wall. Some of this stuff I can troubleshoot without a schematic because I have the schematic in my head, but technically that means I still have a schematic. It's just I have it in my head rather than having it on the screen. Like, I know where the PP3V42 circuit is without opening the schematic on this. I just open the schematic and walk you through it for your benefit. Because these videos would make no sense at all if I didn't try to walk you through some of it. Let's What's your opinion on MSI laptops? I don't really have one. I don't have... It's the same as every other laptop, you know? No track points, no antimicrobial keyboard, shitty keyboard layout, boring, you know? When somebody makes a laptop with an antimicrobial keyboard and a track point and all that, then I'll have something happy to say. Right now I got this piece of shit Dell Inspiron 13. It's a piece of shit, but the thing about it is it's $479. So even though it's a piece of crap, I can't be mad at it being a piece of crap because it's $479. I went to get a laptop before my vacation. I was looking at the ThinkPad and it's like, okay, so you fucked up the keyboard layout. You don't put an antimicrobial keyboard anymore. You don't have dedicated volume keys. And it's like $1249? Why? Like, why would I pay you extra money? Makes no fucking sense. So I just bought the Dell. If I'm gonna buy a piece of shit, I might as well pay a little money for it. So anyways, you can see I have a spinning fan. And I also have the light on the charger. So now this thing should just go through the ultrasonic cleaner because it looks nasty. And after the ultrasonic cleaner, we can call it a day. I'm sure everything else on that board works just fine. Maybe I'll leave some of the annoying little component replacements to Jason. Because there are some things on there that look kind of nasty. Da-da-da. How do boards get so dirty? Liquid damage. The ThinkPads with the Yoga hinges have dedicated volume buttons in the side. Yeah, but the ThinkPads with the Yoga doesn't come with an antimicrobial keyboard. The Yoga costs 2 to 3 times as much as the Dell. Like, I mean, let me get my Dell over here and I'll show you what I mean. They'll give this iron some time to cool down as well. I'm not saying the Dell's an amazing computer. It's not. It's a piece of shit. But it's a piece of shit that's $479. So at least it's at the piece of shit price point that matches the, you know, it being a piece of crap. Like, here, like, this is Dell Inspiron 13, right? This is $479. It came with a 1 terabyte hard drive. I tossed that shit out the moment I got the computer, and I put in a 960 gigabyte SanDisk that I got on Black Friday a year ago. Look at this. Look at this. Watch. It's $479. $479. The keyboard itself it's not a great layout. It's a decent layout. Like every single laptop on planet Earth, they've totally fucked up the home, page up, page down, and that's all over here with function, which is totally fucking useless. But again, they fucked it all up. But it's $479. It's got the tablet mode thing. The tablet mode on this is fucked up. I restored Windows. I reinstalled from a USB. And no matter what I do, you can't get it to auto-rotate. And yes, I followed all the guides online, and the auto-rotate is enabled in display. You can get it to rotate manually. It doesn't auto-rotate. It did on the original install. It doesn't really make much of a difference because Windows in tablet mode is kind of trashy anyway. Like, let's see if I can give you an example of why tablet mode is trashy. All right, let's... Actually, the one thing I want to do to show you why tablet mode is trashy is not going to work because there's a bunch of users' personal information here. So I have this software that automatically posts orders to QuickBooks, and it syncs the item and all that. And if you try to select individual ones, you can't. You can only select every other one because the touchscreen has such shitty accuracy that if I try to select this checkbox and the one under it, it'll still check the order right above it. It's really silly. So the touchscreen thing is still, to me, a complete fucking gimmick. I don't understand why anybody would want to use something like this as a touchscreen. The only time this is usable is if I'm just watching a YouTube video or I'm just reading something and I want to scroll. It's only useful for scrolling. it's not actually useful for real interaction and work. But again, it's $479. It's pretty thin. It's pretty light. I can put my own SSD in it. None of that SSD soldered to the board bullshit like some manufacturers have started doing. But, I mean, it works. And it gets like 4 or 5 or 6 hours of battery, which is enough for a plane ride to California. Fuck shitty touchscreens, I agree. Accidentally leaks user's info. Yes! You'll now know who bought Flux if you zoom in. If you zoom in really, really close, you'll get to see the list of people that bought Flux. And then you'll know what their names are. You'll know which people decided to buy the good Flux for electronics repair. I hate when manufacturers use keyboards with a matte finish. That's the thing. I don't get me wrong. I clean my hands before and after I eat, before and after I use a computer. I like keeping my machine nice and clean. I don't like having keys wear away. But sometimes if I'm on a flight and the bathroom is full and my hand got a little sweaty, it's nice to touch a keyboard where I know that that's not like getting stuck on the key. I don't know if this makes any sense, but like these Lenovo keyboards, let's see if I have one over here that I can show you. Because the Lenovo keyboards are really, really nice. Really, really amazing. Just lovely stuff. At least the older Lenovo keyboards. Now the keyboards are complete fucking shit. It's like that's the only thing that set them apart from every other manufacturer. The only thing that actually like that really made it a special device, and they decided to shit on it. I don't understand Lenovo at all. I don't think they want money. I think that's what it is. They just don't want money. They have. Where'd I put that keyboard? In here, maybe. It's a T520 keyboard for a T520 I'm never going to put back together. I gave the CPU I had inside of it to somebody I knew who needed it a lot more than I did. Let's see. Here, keyboard, where are you? So I can put you under the microscope. It's scary down here. What a trash collection. Jesus. Maybe there? Fuck it. I'll show you in another video. No, I want to show you. Where did I put this thing? I bought it for a customer from 2 or 3 years ago, and they never showed up, so I figured since I have the same laptop, instead of returning it, I'll just keep it in case I need it. But now I don't know where I put it, because I don't have a shelf for a Lenovo keyboard in a Mac laptop repair store. This is beyond hope. I'm confident I'm going to see it the second I hit stop streaming. Oh well. Not meant to be. Not meant to be. But their keyboards are a lot nicer. It's made of some material where it just, even if your hands are sweaty, or even if some douchebag did eat Doritos, it just doesn't get on the keyboard the same way as every other one. It's just quality. It's quality at its best. And they don't have that anymore. It's so sad. I wouldn't mind a touchscreen. That's the thing. Like, I would like a touchscreen if it was a good one. It's just this touchscreen is shit. It's a nice idea, and it would actually be nice if I could get the thing to auto-rotate again. I do like this thing where it logs in just from looking at me. Like, look at that. It knows who I am. It logged me in just because I looked at it. That's cool. That's the future. Apple thinks that they're cool because they have this stupid fingerprint login. You know, that thing that Lenovo has had for over 10 years with the fingerprint login? Who cares? That is so 2005. This is cool. I look at the computer. It knows who I am. It logs me in. That's kind of cool. To do that on a $479 computer is pretty cool as well. How hard was the hard drive swap for the Dell? Oh, really easy. So check this out. So all the screws in the bottom of the laptop are Phillips. And as soon as you open this bottom panel, there's 3 or 4 screws holding the hard drive in. It's immediately visible. You just pop it out, you put the new drive in. It's all Phillips, no Torx, not Not that Torx is that bad, but it's slightly harder to find if you're in a pinch. But you have it's just Phillips 00 or single 0 screw. And then you just use a couple of Phillips screws in the hard drive. It's just bam. Lenovo is dead to me after the rootkit fiasco. That's a big no-no. I would have forgiven them if they had good keyboards, even with the rootkit stuff, but I'm not going to forgive all the other stuff in addition. That rootkit plus fucked up keyboard, no. Jason stole your Lenovo. That motherfucker. How much you pay for your Dell? $479. That's how cheap this shit was. $479. And the one thing that pisses me off about this computer is it actually looks too good for $479. I mean, you can't tell because the lighting and all that shit in here, but this looks fancy. This looks just a little bit kind of fancy. And I don't like that because it's $479. What I like about my Lenovo is that it looks like a piece of shit. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's beautiful and sexy and cool. But the actual device itself, I mean, look, like nobody would steal this, you know? Nobody's going to steal this. Nobody's going to look at this and think, oh my God, this is worth some real money. Look at this. This is worth some real money right here. Nobody's going to think that. But at least not the average idiot thief. But the average idiot thief may look at this $479 piece of crap and think, slim, shiny, stylish, ooh, and try to steal it. And that, like, no. So I don't like that it looks too good. The rootkit was good. It caused price drops. I haven't seen the price drops. Lenovo still has this idea that they're high-end, and they're selling at a high-end price when they're not. The P50 has case cracking. The T460P, it's a $2,000 workstation. It doesn't even have a Thunderbolt port. Like, you fucking kidding me? I mean, just, nah. They still have, I mean, I was looking, and they have computers, and they have balls. They sell shit that's 1366 by 768 for over $800. You have to have balls to sell a computer at 1366, 768 with a TN screen that if I do this, it just turns blue for $700, $800. Lenovo's got their head up their ass. I'm not going to try buying their stuff until they actually make something worthwhile. I'm not fucking with Lenovo no more. What are your thoughts on the Razer blades? They're decent, but not more than decent. And they have this thing where the motherboards randomly fail that they don't support at all, so I can't recommend Razer. Their boards are shit. What Dell model was that? This is the Dell Inspiron, however the fuck you're supposed to pronounce it. 13. Yep. Dell Inspiron 13. Alienware, at the very least, I haven't heard about random board failures, but I have heard about a lot of random board failures in the Razers. Nah, not fucking with the Razers. What do you think about the Surface Pro 4? I didn't even look at it when I went to the Microsoft store. Everything had a price on it but the Surface. The Surface had please ask associate for price. So I just went to the next table. And then some guy looks at me, he's like, are you interested? I'm like, no. Just get away from me. If I would have maybe been interested in this device if you would put a price on it, but you didn't put a price. You said I have to ask you. So now I'm not interested. Because ask for a price means that it's not affordable. Like every time in my life that I've walked up to something and it said, please call for price, please call for quote, it means that I can't afford it. So I walked right by the Surface table and saw this thing. Okay. What do you think of the Asus ROG series? I don't really have any experience with them to give an opinion. Is there any chance Apple replaced my board with a new one? What did you go in for? Did you go in for liquid damage or video card? I would like a video explaining the basics of a board. There is a lot of little things that always make me wonder about, yet I don't understand. What don't you understand? I'm there with you. Price should be upfront. Yes. It's one thing if it's a construction contract, fine, call for quote, but it's a laptop, you know? Like it's a commodity good. If you're not willing to give a price, then I'm not willing to consider you. All right, do we have anything that's actually fun here? No. Huh? Is HP brand any good? No. HP makes nothing worthwhile. Run away from HP. Run away from HP. Yeah, like if I'm buying in bulk, if you're buying 500 of something, call for quote. If you want construction, call for quote. If you want to buy a single soldering iron, no. Put a price on it or leave me alone. Do you think USB Type-C will gain momentum this year? Yeah, I guess with the way that Apple is shoving it down everybody's throat. A great way to get something to get momentum is to put it on a device that is manufactured by a company that is excellent at brainwashing their users into doing whatever it is they say, and remove every other port. HP is garbage. Even their enterprise stuff is bad. Yeah, a lot of HP. There's a lot of junk with them. Okay, doesn't boot, and it's a Core 2 Duo. Delete ticket. Doesn't show any. Yeah, all the good stuff is gone. Okay, maybe I'll take something out of Jason's status. Is there something in Jason's name that's actually doable? I usually put all the crap in his. Oh my God. Holy crap. Wow. I gotta be nicer to Jason or pay him more. Jesus. Yeah, how many phones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 phone, 12 phones for Jason to recover. Damn. All right, I'll take those. I should take something from him. MacBook Air keeps shutting down for no... Oh. Bah. Yeah, 2011 MacBook Air is a piece of crap. That's a junk ticket. Next. PP Bus G3 hot shorted on system side. Nothing gets hot. I guess we can go through this and see if there's something worthwhile here. Yeah, let's take a look at this. I really don't want to. Oh. Okay. Wait a second. No. Never mind. You know what, Jason? You can keep that one. Yep. So that looks like it's about it for today. What else is in chat? How far away is that quick hot air station? That's going to be a while. HP printers are okay. Oh, you mean those printers that stopped allowing you to use third-party ink cartridges via firmware update? HP can suck it. HP is crap. Have you had boards you cannot fix? Yes, and you get to see them on the stream. I actually got a 1-star at 10 o'clock on New Year's Eve from somebody who had an unfixable board after leaving some annoying YouTube comments. Yep, there's always boards that can't be fixed. That was actually a funny set. That was a funny one. It's like, here, take this back. It works, but it'll probably die. No, fix it, fix it. No, I don't want to. No, fix it, fix it. Okay, it doesn't work. You broke it. Just, God bless customer service. All right. How old are you? I'm old enough to have gray hair. I'm old enough to have to ask how old are you before going out on a date. Old enough to be old. If it was between a 2016 and 2015 MacBook Pro, which would give me more longevity? On longevity, I'm not sure, but I would get the 2015. You get regular USB ports. You get an SD card slot. You get to pay less money. Did I say you get to pay less money? Yeah, I get the older one. I would get the older one. I would definitely get the 2015 MacBook Pro before getting the 2016 MacBook Pro. The 2015 MacBook Pro, again, it's just easier to use. SD card slot, regular USB ports, everything. It's just, I like it. Less money. Not to mention that the SSD is user removable. Wouldn't you prefer that if your computer died that you not be at Apple's mercy to get your data? You just go, ding, you take your and the SSD on those machines, by the way, is encased in underfill. So it's usually not damaged in the case of liquid damage unless the computer sent 12 volts to it. So your computer can be completely trashed. You just go, doop, there's your data recovery. On the new MacBook Pro, the new MacBook Pro, that's a different story altogether. L2 is advertising half your price on eBay. Are they in trouble? L2 has been advertising like $70 motherboard repair for the past 5 years. Mr. Nash, I actually have to send you your plunger and your needle. Working on that. Yeah. L2 has been at like $70 for a long time now. Is your local gym going to be packed with new faces for the next 3 weeks? No. Why would they be? I hope they're not. It's too crowded as is. Some people think being unable to work sufficiently large miracles and accomplish the physically impossible equals bad service. They all balance each other out. Why are there so many hardware repairs located in New York City? High density of people who use Macs, high density of bars and places people go to drink stuff that makes them make bad decisions. And the stuff that causes them to make bad decisions is actually liquid, which the Mac is susceptible to. So, yep. Mike, you should do a review of the third-party hyperdrive that gave the 2016 MacBook Pro actual ports. Let's check that out. Hyperdrive. MacBook port. Here we go. This thing, Kickstarter, USB... This thing looks pretty cool. Geez, they had a $100,000 goal, and they made 864,000 of that goal. Whoa. And it's a pretty nice looking hub. It looks nice. My only concern with a hub like this would be the stress that it places in the actual ports. So I'm kind of, I mean, it looks nice. Don't get it twisted. It does look very
everything.
Nice. But I'm kind of curious what type of stress it puts on the ports.
For your MacBook.
I have a feeling that this is going to put added stress on the... That I could be wrong, but you never know. What do you do if you receive an item that somebody already tried to repair? I send it back to them and I bill them for return shipping. I have a strong belief that if you started it, that you finish it. Because if you started it and then I finish it and anything goes wrong with it, I'm going to get blamed for it, and I don't want to fuck with any of that. because that is just chargeback city. Usually when people, here's the thing. If you know how to do this, more power to you. The people that send stuff here after they try to fix it are the people that don't know how to do this, but wanted to do it because they didn't trust somebody like me to do it. So they already are lacking trust. So if anything goes wrong with it, which something will probably go wrong with it because somebody fucked with it without knowing what they were doing, they're not going to blame me, and they're not going to trust the explanation I give because they were not trusting, which is why they tried to fix it themselves in the first place, even though they didn't know what they're doing. So that's a recipe for failure. So if I see somebody fucked with it, I wish you the best of luck. Here's a video that may even help you. Here's my advice. Here's exactly what I would do. I'll even give you some advice. But no business relationship there. Very bad thing. Very, very, very bad. What are some common symptoms of bad GPU on MacBook Pro Retina? Random reboots, random kernel panics, not being able to boot into the operating system, programs crashing for no reason, and eventually when you turn it on, you'll see a bunch of lines and the apple is going to be like, let's say this is the apple. It's going to look like this or crossed over in some way. It's like doing diagnosis on a car that the owner tried to repair. It sucks ass. I agree with you. I agree completely. How can someone learn how to fix computers? The internet. That's not always true. I always try to fix my own stuff because I want to learn. It has nothing to do with trust. But that's the thing. You want to learn. The people who actually want to learn are the people who figure out how to do it, don't fuck it up, and don't send it here. Because you figured it out. You decided, I'm going to do the research to not fuck this up. The people I usually deal with are the people who are like, I have no idea how to do this. I'm going to watch 2 minutes of a video, and then I think it's all going to be easy. Those are the people that I meet. I don't get to meet the yous. I get to meet the others. What would it take for Apple to do for you to like their products? Start making them to last. I mean, do what Lenovo used to do a few years ago. Liquid proofing. Stop making devices that are designed to overheat and die in 3 years. Stop, just make some good design decisions. Stop soldering the SSDs to the board. Soldering RAM, you know what? I'll live with soldered RAM. Fine. But soldered SSDs, like really? Use Torx T3 screws in the bottom of the computer rather than Penelope. There's no reason to make a device that somebody who's at a Home Depot can't open. Antimicrobial keyboards and a track point, but that's asking too much. But I would live with the first couple of them, but you'd be out of a job. Yeah, but I'd find a new one. I mean, who cares? What kind of person can only do one thing with their life their entire life? That's sad. I want to do, there's always something else you can do. When you toss machines after 45 days, would you hypothetically be able to give or sell it to someone? Well, yeah, that's the whole point. Recycling is erasing it and putting it in the window. I don't fix stuff that's worth $800, put an hour of time into it, and then actually throw it into a garbage container. Oh, man. Although that would be interesting. But yeah, they don't actually get recycled. That would be... Have you considered designing your own components? I'm not sure I'm qualified for that. But, I'm very sure I'm not qualified for that. Why don't Apple give the MacBook Pro a user-replaceable video card, RAM, SSD, and CPU? Because it makes the machine thicker, and it also costs more money. Think about it. I have to have a machine to place the CPU in the socket. I have to solder a socket. I have to make a RAM slot. I have to make a device that puts the RAM in the RAM slot. I have to make a graphics chip slot. I have to make something that puts the graphics chip in the graphics chip slot. You're adding all these steps. Or I could just solder the graphics chip in the board. It takes away a step. Which, with some stuff, I get it. It makes sense. But with data, I don't feel like we're really ready to do that with data. I think data should still be modular. You should be able to just remove an SSD. If the computer gets fucked up, I'd like the ability to swap it into another device without having to go to a specialized facility. But again, that's just my opinion. On Google reviews, always amusing. Someone has to mention their trek through 80-degree weather in the review. Yeah. People can just be douchebags, man. Some people I don't... You can just tell. You can tell when you meet some people that they've just, like, their parents their parents would run to the rescue if their Chase account went below $20,000. You can always tell the type. It's like, it's just easily... And, like, when I hear it's... I had to commute all the way from 44th Street. What, you mean like 1/8 of a mile that way? That's what you mean? You had to commute all the way from there? How about you try taking a fucking train from another borough? Like regular people do every day. Like just get, oh my God. Some people are just spoiled as fuck. A lot of them in New York, actually. I understand you don't offer board repair lessons anymore, but how much would you charge to make an exception? I don't. There's no amount of money that makes it worth it. I had a couple of people show up that had no interest in learning board repair that just showed up to meet me. And that creeps me out to a level where it's just not even worth the money. It's just weird. I'm sorry. I have the whole point behind Jason teaching is that I don't have to ever experience that weirdness again. And honestly, I just kind of lost my enthusiasm for in-person teaching. I never really was, like, I didn't have this great enthusiasm for in-person teaching. It wasn't about that. It was just, like, Jessa would say, do you want to teach? And I'd go, no. And then Jessa would say, this company is teaching people how to fix stuff with a heat gun. Do you want to teach? And I'd say, no. And then it was like, E-Tech is going to teach people how to solder, and they made a picture where they had a Photoshop soldering. And I'm like, fine. Just to keep people from going to the crappy places, I will teach, so that there's some people that leave actually knowing how to fix a board. But, I don't know. Jason's fine. And Jason doesn't have an online reputation, so he doesn't have wackos that show up just because they want to meet him and, like, smile at him in a room for 5 hours and stare at him. Because that's weird. That happens, and that's weird. Very weird. I have an old G5. Oh, God. It shuts down. No. You're kidding. Your device from 2004 occasionally shuts down. Let me show you where I would put it. Yeah. Now, if you have a G4 or a G5, just be happy that it made it this. Just be happy that it made it this far. Hey, I have a board for you. Happy New Year. Jason is here. I forgot to take your board out of the alcohol. That's okay, I found it earlier. No, but it was in the alcohol, and I never took it out of the alcohol. So now I really want to know who took it out of the alcohol. Yeah, that was me. Oh. Yeah, somebody just asked if they could pay a fee to have me teach instead of you. Do you have no faith in this guy? It's better than I am. So don't you want to learn how to solder from somebody that actually knows how to solder? I think that would be a good thing to go for. Like, you could learn soldering from a monkey, or you could learn soldering from an expert. I prefer to learn from the expert. He even trimmed his hair and everything. He looks great. I repair drones for a living, and your videos have helped me a lot in diagnosing problems. Thank you, Lewis. Out of curiosity, because I haven't gotten into that, but I am curious, what usually goes wrong with drones? That question is for Revless02. So what is the thing that usually goes wrong? Which models die? I'm very curious. Why do people want to meet you? I have no idea. Jason just had to use the bathroom.
Actually, someone fainted on the L train, so it's not running anymore.
There's no L train?
Not for at least another 15 minutes. The police just got there.
You gotta be fucking kidding. Okay, so there's no train. So I guess I was about to leave to end the stream, but yeah. I have no way to get home. I guess. Hey, I thought you came here because you loved work so much.
Man, when I heard we're off tomorrow, I literally just like...
Can I get Jason's autograph? Sure. You just have to visit his home, which is where in Brooklyn? What's your address? Hey, you shut your mouth. He's giving my address. I got a free Damage Note 5 for Christmas. Your channel has helped me to fix it. That's awesome. I have a MacBook Pro from 2007. Well, there's your problem. That says there is no battery connected, and then other times it says the battery is connected but won't charge. Well, your first problem is that it's from 2007. That's your first problem. The second problem is that you're still using it and expecting it to work. The thing is, there's no such thing as a battery for a laptop from 2007 that's OEM. There's only crap. So it could be the board, but it could also be the shitty battery. If it's the original battery, it's 7 years outside of its lifespan. And if it's not the original battery, then it's a piece of shit, which is a catch-22. I have a question with my board. When you plug the fan, try to start, but stop and don't boot. Can someone help me? My car won't turn on. Help me. What do you expect? They stopped flying. Huh. Water damage. So drones, I guess I could see drones getting water damaged. What do people say when they come up to meet up? It sounds super awkward. It's not what they say. It's really just this annoying smile and twinkle in their eye. It's like, hi. It's just, it's so fucking weird. It's like, I don't have breasts. Stop looking at me like that. I have a newfound sympathy for women after having all those experiences. Like, that's what it must feel like to have large breasts. Just people like, hi. It's just weird to stop looking at me like that. Every time it happens, I look down just to make sure I haven't grown a pair. The motor drivers and some cheaper drones will fail. People usually crash them. You can make a lot of money from it because the average drone I fixed cost $1,300. Yeah, but okay, they crash, but what goes wrong inside the drone after they crash? I guess I should have been more specific with my question. And it seems that you're from Estonia, so don't worry, I'm not going to compete with you. It'll be very far away. Very far away. But I'm curious as to what goes wrong with them. So you're not kidding? There's really no train?
Not right now.
I'm stuck here with YouTube chat for the next...
I guess so.
Oh, man. Why you know accept my Steam friend request, Lewis? Because I have about 500 pending, and I think you have to make 3 separate clicks to accept each request. If there was a way to just hit select all and accept, I would do it, but since there's no way to hit select all and accept, I add 1 every day. Because otherwise, I would never play the game. It would take longer than the actual length of a game to add everybody that's added me on Steam. What I would like on Steam is a select all, or just like a checkbox where you could select people and then hit accept. That would be nice. Can I send in my MacBook, my PowerBook G4 for repairs? Microsoderingssupply.com. There is a services button.
Are you kidding me?
Send it to Jason.
I came in here out of the goodness of my heart.
Yeah, the goodness of your heart. No, totally not because the train's not working.
Did you fix anything?
I fixed one thing. All right. It's about time to get out of here. Yeah, it's about time to get out of here. I guess I'm walking home. Why are the trains not working? Because it's New York, man. Nothing ever works. If I sign up for the class, can I crash on Jason's couch? What do you say?
Depends. Are they female or male?
Jason says send him your picture and then he'll decide. Uber? No. Uber is a ripoff. What Uber does, Uber is evil. Uber is evil. It used to be, if I wanted to take a cab home, it would be like $9 or $13. Then Uber came along. And the cab drivers, what Uber does is anytime there's a surge in an area of people that want a trip, the price goes up. So you would think, okay, screw it, I'm not going to use Uber because the price goes up every time a lot of people want a cab. I'll just take a regular cab. But you can't because all the regular cabs become Ubers. So the regular cab will say, no, 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 I'm in Uber now. So it's not $13, it's $60 to get home. No, no. Fuck Uber. I'm sure because the L train is down that it'll be $60 to get home with an Uber. Fuck. I protested on principle. No Uber. If Uber were a lifeboat and I was on the Titanic, I'd fucking swim to shore, man. I would swim to shore. Do you still do any modern ThinkPad repairs? No. Can you fix my Note 7? It won't charge. You're trolling. How are you going to get home? Today was supposed to be my rest day from running, but I suppose a jog. Actually, I can't because I have my laptop with me. That's going to be a pain in the ass. You could sleep in your office. I don't want to sleep in my office. Apple replaced my late 2011 15-inch MacBook Pro's Logic board. Do you still suggest stress testing it to death to get a new machine? Dude, what are you talking about? You can't get a new machine. That program ended yesterday. You're stuck with what you have. Sell it. Sell right now. Sell before it dies. Sell that machine. Sell that computer. I'm stuck here. No. I have a choice. I'm a free man. At least according to the video I uploaded a day ago. All right, time to get out of here and walk home. Time to get out of here and walk home. As always, I hope you learned something. And if you do want to support the channel, you can use any one of those affiliate links. We now have affiliate links for Amazon below for Italy, France, Germany, Austria, Spain, Canada, the UK, and the United States. You want your Dell charger? I stole it. Jason, did you add affiliate links for all the other countries?
Not yet. I didn't know that either.
I tried to add for Mexico, and it said, you can't get paid. And it's like, motherfucker.
Wait, did they give a reason why? Is it Mexico?
I voted for the wrong candidate, maybe. No, but seriously, I signed up for Amazon affiliate Mexico, and it's like this big message, like, cannot pay you. It's like, I guess. Yeah. Voted for the... So I'm sorry, there's no Mexico affiliate. And there's no Brazil either, or Japan. No Japan. I don't think Japan would have paid me either. All right, that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something.